Hello everybody, my name is EK, welcome back to Pokemon Colosseum. So this video is going to be a little bit different than most of the other videos. I am going to be doing a lot of post commentary for this one today, so I have a bit more time to just slowly talk to you guys, kind of treat this as more like an audio video where I'm going to just be rambling on for about half an hour or something. I am looking at my own footage right now, sped up. You are watching this game now at 500% speed. I was contemplating for a very long time, do I want to go through all of these battles, live commentary, consistently just keep on battling. But as you can see from the footage in the background, the Pokemon we are fighting against are around level 15, 16, 17, up to around level 20. You do have to restart at number 1. The initial 10 that we did earlier, they were, of course, kind of like hijacked by the cipher, so they didn't count. So instead, what I did was I decided, hey, I have to start them anyway. So in this video, am going to be playing from 1 to 60. So there's going to be 60 battles crammed into this one single video. The main purpose of this grind has been, well, one of the reasons is to just overall level my Pokemon, but another thing that I really wanted to do is because we, of course, noticed that the battles in the Rugam Tower were particularly difficult and we were not very strong. I wanted to make sure that some of the Pokemon we were slowly cleansing away. So I'm going to be cleansing Raycow, I have Hitmontop, of course, and I'm going to be swapping some other Pokemon in there later as well. So yeah, the footage in the background is just going to be me battling away. We are now at battle number 6, heading up to battle number 7. The Pokemon aren't too spectacular. There's also no Shadow Pokemon whatsoever in Mount Battle, as far as I'm aware. Maybe there is something like a Battle 100 or something. I think there was a reward. I think actually I was like, I had a memory and then I looked it up, and I think you can get Ho-Oh if you complete battle number 100, but it's not in the story mode or something. You have to do like a specific battle mode, which is like this entirely different mode. And then you can get Ho, but I don't know if you have to complete it there and then you unlock Ho in your base game or something. So depending on what I have to do for that, I might look into it, I might not look into it. I don't want to go through 100 battles again just to unlock Ho. I just don't think that's really worth it for my personal time investment. But we're definitely going to be looking to at least complete rank 100 in total. As we progress this series, I will be coming back to this to finish off, 61 through 100. The battles are getting more difficult. The Pokemon later on are going to be stronger. The Pokemon later on are going to be more frequent as well. And by frequent, I mean, right now trainers generally have 2, maybe 3 Pokemon. Every 10th trainer has more Pokemon. It's a slightly more challenging battle. But overall, the fights are easy. One great thing as well about this is that after every single battle, your Pokemon are fully healed, so all status effects are removed, the HP is filled back up again, your PP is restored, so you really don't have to worry about it whatsoever. So, these initial battles, they're kind of boring, to be honest. I'm just kind of spamming away with Shadow Rush. Both my Pokemon are not very cleansed yet. You can see here we enter this little outpost area, we get some tickets, and these tickets we can later spend on some rewards. I'll talk more about that later on, but that's not something that we can really do right now because we need quite a lot of tickets to even be able to grab the initial rewards, which we're definitely very far away from at this point in the video. But yeah, you can see that all I'm doing right now is just spamming Shadow Rush, calling my Pokemon, trying to make sure they get as much cleansing going as they can. The one downside, but I guess it makes some sense, is that these Pokemon, these battles, they do not give any form of money. So there are no Pokédollars. So unfortunately, that does mean that I can't just go and grind through this, get, tens of thousands of Pokédollars, and then boost my Pokemon up a lot by buying like the protein and stuff to make my Pokemon stronger. So yeah, that's pretty much all you're going to be watching during this video. So, I don't really have too much to talk about as we're watching this part. So I'm just going to talk randomly about other stuff. If you care about that, then, stick around. If you don't really care about that, then you can skip through the video. There is going to be a part where I'm going to be cutting back in, which I will have to edit in later. Like, it's a whole like mess in terms of my production cycle, but, I'll fix that on my end. But you're gonna see me cut in later at some point. We're gonna cleanse some Pokemon, learn some moves, level up, those kind of fun things. But most of the video will just be, this. So one thing that I have been doing in my own time, whenever I've had a little bit of time available, and I was doing it during the export of the sped up version, so I could commentate it as I was watching it with you guys. I have been watching a little bit of Pokemon. I decided that if I want to re-immerse myself in this game, I am thinking. I haven't fully decided yet, but I'm thinking about doing this game's sequel as well. Doing XD Gale of Darkness just straight after, just go and make sure I get those back to back. So I'm kind of like in the Pokemon spirit. I have heard that XD Gale of Darkness, so the sequel, is maybe not as charming as this game. Some people are saying, the sequel has lost a little bit of the charm, but overall, pretty much everyone seems to agree that the sequel is the better game. It has removed a lot of the things that make Pokemon Colosseum slightly annoying to play sometime, and it has just made the game better, polished the game a lot more, and it supposedly is just a very much improved version of Pokemon Colosseum. Now, I have played a ton of Pokemon Colosseum when I was a kid, and I remember this game quite well. I don't know everything about the game, but I know the game very well, and I have a lot of memories about this game. For XD Gale of Darkness, I have memories. I own that game too, and I definitely played through that game, but I don't think I ever actually finished XD Gale of Darkness, and I would be kind of curious to see how I like that game. First of all, because I have slightly less nostalgia for the game. I have nostalgia for the game, but it's nowhere near the nostalgia I have for this game. And also, because we're now we're going to be finishing up this game probably in. I mean, I don't know how many episodes are going to be left. Probably before episode 30, we're going to be done, depending on how much post-game content that I end up doing. We should be heading into the later part of at least the main story in what I believe to be the next video. But it's going to be fun to see how Exegale Darkness contrasts to this game. I can call back to this game, and I can try and do the same analytical approach that I've been doing when I'm playing these kind of games. So that should be really, really fun. You can see we are now at battle number 20. This is another area leader. Pokemon are no longer 16, 17. They are now about 25. So slowly but surely, Pokemon are getting a little bit closer to the level that we are. The good thing is, and you will see this later in the video as well, that especially Reikau right now, I'm going to keep him in here for the entire thing. He is getting so much experience, and keep in mind, all this experience is like bulked up, and at the very end, when you cleanse a Pokemon, that Pokemon will then get all the experience in one go. He says, yeah, and we now move on, and we are now done with the second tier, and we move into the third one. You can see there was a little bit of a cut there as well. I recorded most of these in like sections of 10 because honestly, this content wasn't particularly interesting to me. So what I did is I just did 10 battles. Usually, like, I had something going on my phone or something. I could have had something going on my PC. I realized that later because I decided to cut out the audio. I had the audio in initially, but it just became... See, I'm using an antidote here because I'm stupid, and I forgot that I'm going to get cleansed after anyway. Wasted an antidote, but hey, it is what it is. But yeah, you're going to get cleansed after every single battle, so I'm kind of just wasting it over here. One thing you can see, and I don't know what I was just talking about, so maybe I'll come back to it, whatever it was. But one thing that you will notice is if you look at the cleansing bar, so the shadow gauge of both my Pokemon, Reikau is, well, not very far into it. He's, he's a bit over 2 bars in. Meanwhile, my Gramble is 4 bars in and will be cleansed very quickly. So I have noticed, and I don't know exactly where this comes from, but some Pokemon are just cleansed a lot quicker than other Pokemon. I also don't know if some Pokemon might be cleansed a lot quicker by certain means than other Pokemon. So, maybe some Pokemon respond better to battling. Maybe some Pokemon respond better to being just in your party, like wandering around or something. Maybe some Pokemon respond better to the vivid sense or whatever. So there are multiple ways you can cleanse your Pokemon, and I have talked about all of them, I do believe. But there is a definite chance that some Pokemon just respond better to certain methods, or maybe they just need less. I am not quite sure exactly which one of those it is. Of course, these are the kind of things that I could go ahead and Google, but I kind of like staying as blind as I can and seeing if I can figure out what is going on. Like if the game is going to tell me what is going on. Like it could have something to do with their nature, as well. You have all these different natures. But the thing is, as far as I know, when you open up the stats panel for a Pokemon that you haven't yet cleansed, you can't see their nature. So yeah, even if it is due to the nature, you will not be able to see it. Now maybe they're always set in stone, maybe they're randomized, I don't know, but there's just so much stuff going on. So yeah, bringing me back to something I was talking about before, and I mentioned it. This is going to be more of a, hey, this is a podcast. I just like randomly talk about whatever comes to my mind, and you can watch this if you like to. You can like put me on a second monitor, just listen to me if you like to, or you can just completely ignore this video. Nothing too special is going to happen in this one, and just move on to the next one. But then again, if you've made it over 10 minutes into this video, then you're probably going to be sticking around, right? So thank you very much for that. So, one thing that I was talking about earlier in this video is that I have been watching a bit more of, well, just a bit in general of the Pokemon anime. I decided that if I want to get deep into Pokemon, then it would be quite fun to maybe also do a similar nostalgia thing for the series. So, I have now watched, and I've kind of watched this spread out across like 2-3 months or something. So, it's not been super recent, and some of the stuff is already like fading away again because, well, they're not the most engaging episodes ever. But I have just made it into what I think is called season 2. So season 1 has like 82 episodes or something. It's like called The Beginning or whatever. I can't remember. But then season 2 is called The Orange Islands, and it is that season, I think, from like my memory, just suggests that is where Lapras is introduced, and I have these really strong nostalgic memories of Lapras being introduced into the game or into the series, and I don't know which episode it's going to be introduced, but islands, orange islands, water, it makes sense. The funny thing is that the more I've watched, the more I have realized, and I've known this for years, but it's really just been confirmed to me that Pokemon has this really simplistic and recurring structure where in almost every single episode you have the gang, in this case, of course, in the early seasons being Ash, Brock, and Misty. Oh, also, you can see the scene change as well. So, we are now no longer in like the bright sunny stuff. We have moved over to the next one, and the next one right here, as you can see, is this nice volcanic look. So the next couple of sections, we are going to be in this cool volcanic look. So that's really nice. But anyway, the setup that Pokemon uses as an anime, and I don't know if this changes in the much later parts or if this is something that's going to be recurring throughout literally every single part of the entire Pokemon anime. But you have the gang, so Ash and Misty and Brock arriving in a town or just arriving wherever the episode is going to take place. And then they get introduced to some people there, some NPCs. They're gonna talk to some people, and so it's all gonna be happy and stuff. Everyone's gonna be very jolly around there, and then all of a sudden, you'll swap to Team Rocket, and you'll see, Team Rocket apparently, coincidentally is also in that same area, and they now have a plan to steal Pikachu, and obviously then they have their whole dress up sequence where they dress up as something. Like right now, like I was literally watching an episode right now. I think it's episode 2 of the Orange Islands, where Team Rocket is dressed up as flight attendants because they have been transferred to the blimp crew, and they are now pushing Ash, Misty, and Brock onto the blimp to try and, well, probably rob them in the air. I haven't gotten that far into the episode yet, but I can kind of guess what is going to happen. So yeah, Team Rocket has their whole dress-up thing. Then Team Rocket succeeds in doing something, stealing Pikachu for a while. It's always for a short duration, but Team Rocket is always very, very, very shortly successful. And unfortunately, after that happens, then, well, fortunately for Ash, but unfortunately for Team Rocket, then Ash does something, like blows down their hot air balloon, or like knocks them away with a thunderbolt or whatever, and then Pikachu's freed again. And then then the sun is setting, and then you have this little wave thing where it's like, oh, goodbye, we're walking away. Then Professor Oak says something wise, and then you go into the next video or the next episode, and you kind of just repeat that same thing over and over and over again. And I don't know what I feel about it, because on the one hand, it is kind of fun. You can also see, by the way, in the footage right now, I literally haven't looked at my own footage for like 3 minutes now, as I'm just like talking, like blankly staring to like a wall or something. I don't even know what I'm doing. But you can see that I swapped to Pillow Swine as well because my previous Pokemon was fully cleansed. Pillow Swine also is cleansed very quickly. He's already 2 bars in. He started at, obviously the full amount of bars. And then you can see Raycow is still requiring 1 full bar. So it takes a very, very, very long time to cleanse Raycow. Now, you can probably get away with using the Flute onto the Legendary Hounds because they seem to cleanse fairly slowly. Now, I can't remember exactly how long Suicune took to cleanse. Probably quite a while as well, but it didn't feel as long because I wasn't just like battling. Now, Entei, of course, we cleansed using the Time Flute, so we didn't really have to go do that. But obviously, I am now keeping my Time Flute for later, for when we do get the Totodile, Crocodile, Feraligatr, whichever of the line we get. But yeah, I'm curious to see how Pokemon holds up and how it changes. And I'm really in this mood right now where I'm like, I want to play this game. I want to play Gale of Darkness. I want to watch the Pokemon anime, or at least, a couple seasons. And I've also, and I don't know if people are interested in this, but I'm kind of tempted now to maybe go back even further and do this thing. And this is purely theoretical right now. I haven't decided upon anything yet. But obviously, this is the kind of video that, you only watch if you just like listening to me babble on. So, this is probably like your right up your alley, So what I've been thinking about doing is watching the Pokemon anime, watching all the episodes associated with a certain generation. So, for example, I think Generation 1 is Season 1 and 2 of Pokemon. And I think from 3 through like 5 or something, it is Generation 2. And what I could do, if I find the time, energy, and, well, enthusiasm for it, because it might become very monotonous, is to watch all the anime of the generation, and then after that, play the original game of the generation. So, I watch Season 1 and 2 of Pokemon, and then I go back and I do a Nostalgia Goggles series on Pokemon Red, for example. And then I'll have the knowledge of the anime. I can like, draw references to the anime. I can commentate on Pokemon as I knew it, because I have a lot of nostalgia for, well, especially Gen 2, but also definitely a lot for Gen 1. And then, maybe that could be a fun way in which I can maybe not be an expert in terms of the game, but at least I'll have a very holistic analytical perspective where I've seen the anime, I've played later games, I have nostalgia for it, I go back, I can do a bit of analytics there. So maybe that could be a fun setup. I'm also then thinking, hey, if I want to do that, will I then do the original games? So, Pokemon Red, Blue, Yellow, or do I play the remakes? So do I play Fire Red and Leaf Green, which I think are very similar games still, but they have been improved. But then again, if I do that, then my Nostalgia Goggles idea kind of falls flat, because then they are no longer Nostalgia Goggles games, because they have already improved the faults that I might find doing a playthrough of Pokemon Red and Blue or Yellow. And I haven't played Fire Red and Leaf Green. I haven't played Heart Silver and it's Heart Gold and Soul Silver, I think it is. Yeah. So I have a lot of nostalgia for Gen 2 specifically. Pokemon Gold, Pokemon Silver, and to a lesser extent Pokemon Crystal, which I've never played, but definitely is kind of the same game, but just a little bit more expanded upon. But then again, I haven't played the remastered versions, which could be really fun, but maybe I'll not have the same nostalgia, and then that also won't work with the series. So yeah, I have a lot of plans cooking, and that is of course just the plans with Pokemon games in general. I wasn't planning on going ham on Pokemon games, but I'm kind of feeling like maybe I want to just dedicate one day out of the week, like the Wednesday, for example, and just make it like Pokemon Wednesday, and like for like I could literally have like years from this point onwards where I'm just playing through all kinds of Pokemon games, starting from Gen 1, going to Gen 2, Gen 3, Gen 4, and then after Gen 4, that's kind of where my nostalgia ends. I haven't played Gen 5, I haven't played Gen 6. I went from Gen 2, so Gold and Silver, then I went into Ruby and Sapphire, then I went into Red and Blue, I think, because I played those later, because I grew up with Gen 2, Gen 1, I was born in 95. I think Gen 1 came out in like 99, I think. So I kind of just missed the boat on that, and I kind of like became a gamer. I got my Game Boy Advance as my first, well, gaming handheld. And I think the Gen 1 games came out not as Pokemon Advance games, but as Pokemon Color games. So they came out kind of before my time. So that's why I played those later. So I went 2, 3, 1, I think. And then I played 4. I played 4 a little bit less than the previous 3. I'm not sure I ever fully finished 4, but I definitely played a good amount of 4. So that will be a Diamond and Pearl. But then I kind of stopped. Like I didn't play. I think Black and White come after, and then there's like X and Y, and there's Sun and Moon, and I think then there's Sword and Shield, which I did play, by the way. I do have Pokemon Sword. I think I can't remember which one of the two I have, but I kind of quit that one very early on because it felt like it was lacking. And maybe if I have the knowledge of all the previous games, I can enjoy it a bit more because I can see like, hey, this is where they came from in the previous game. This is what they've taken. This is what they've now improved upon, and kind of like have it be a bit series. That's something that I'm really curious to try. I'm also hoping still that a lot of the games, a lot of the Pokemon games, will be brought to the Switch. I am very, very confused as to why the likes of Pokemon, well, Gen 1, 2, 3, why haven't they been brought to the Switch? There is the remake of Gen 4. There is the remake of Gen 1. There is, of course, the new gens on the Switch, but why haven't they ported those games to the Switch? Why haven't they ported this game, Pokemon Colosseum, to the Switch? There are so many things that they haven't ported yet, and I'm a bit confused as to why. You can see as well, by the way, that the battles are slowly becoming a little bit more difficult. I think this is the battle where my Raycow just consistently misses like 4 thunders in a row. I think he's gotten his accuracy reduced by something. But then again, it is also super effective. Thunder is just such an incredibly powerful move, but swapping in Ampharos here, so we should be completely fine just taking them all out one by one by one. So yeah, that's kind of what I want to talk about. Of course, I have a lot of other games outside of Pokemon that I will definitely be playing as well. I do intend, if provided I keep my enthusiasm up and provided my channel can slowly keep growing and growing and growing, and I'm not expecting, hundreds of thousands or millions of views or something. But if I can just slowly build up like a very, very small community where people will be watching these videos, like I would love to be able to continue doing these Nostalgia Goggles series for many, many, many more games. Potentially I could keep doing this for years if I keep the energy up. And that would be really, really fun. So you can see Raycow, he has been fully cleansed now, but I am just going to finish off this final fight with him in the party. There's 3 more Pokemon here. You will see me cutting away after this battle in just a moment, and I'm going to keep on talking because I did export this as one complete file, but there's going to be a bit of a cut, so I'm just going to warn you guys for that. So yeah, I will be coming in hot very soon with... Dude, I was not awake properly when I was doing the commentary for that one, so please excuse me. I'm going to warn you already. It's really, really bad. Alright, so I think it's time I cut in here. Hello, it's me live again, no longer some post commentary. I am back, and I just wanted to take a quick moment here and run you through all the Pokemon. So we have Raycow now fully cleansed. We have Pillow-Swine also fully cleansed. We have Granbull fully cleansed, and we have Hitmontop fully cleansed. So I can now actually go in and cleanse 4 Pokemon. Raycow, I think, has gotten quite a lot of experience because I kept him in the party even after he had already been cleansed for the last couple of battles, just to try and get him a lot of experience. So there's a Pokemon that may be able to open the door to its heart. So let's just start off with the coolest one. Let's start off with Raycow and see how many levels he can get. If he can get like close to 45 or something, that'd be really, really cool. I don't know if we have the experience for that, but getting something like mid-40s would be really, really nice. Raycow opened the door to its heart, and we got the move for Rain Dance. So it seems to be a common trend that electric type Pokemon are getting Rain Dance as their move, and I'm starting to wonder if there is some logic behind that, because it boosts water type moves, but does it also do something specific for electric, maybe? That just isn't in the description? Or am I just being a complete idiot? 29th, almost 30,000 experience points. So that's level 41. He wants to learn Spark. Do we care about Spark? Sure. Sure, okay. Because we have Thunder, right? So an electrified tackle that may paralyze the target. So it has more accuracy because Thunder has been missing a lot. Spark is a bit weaker, but still... I mean, I kind of want to keep Leer in case we have like a really, really tanky Pokemon at some point. I don't know if I care about Rain Dance. I think I'm just going to take out Quick Attack. Yeah, it can be really nice to get the initial hit always. But I feel like I'm never in a situation where I have to actively use that. So I'm just going to remove that. And we learn how to use Spark. At level 42 as well. Level 43. Level 44, beautiful. Oh, and the ribbon. There we go. No nickname. Okay, so I think Raycow is now our highest level Pokemon. I can't remember what level Entei is, probably somewhere on a similar level. But we, of course, have 3 more Pokemon to open up. So we have Piloswine. Piloswine hasn't been with us for too long. I only had him in, I think, the 40 to 50, maybe the 30 to 40 as well. I can't remember. And we get Endure. We get almost 20,000. That's, I mean, still pretty good. That's 44. Can we hit 45? 45 as well. And the ribbon. There we go. No nickname. Alright, moving on. Next up, we have a Granbull. And he regains the move Bite. He gets almost 10,000 experience points. I feel like we're halving constantly. Every time we get the next Pokemon, we get like half the experience we got from the previous one. But that's 44 still. Really, really good. Level 45 even. I mean, I'm getting all kinds of Pokemon now that are like mid-40s, which is quite nice. And then finally, this is the lowest level Pokemon. We have our Hitmontop here, but I think we had Hitmontop running around with experience share for quite a long time in this game. So maybe it gets relatively much experience. And it would be kind of cool if he gets like 30k or something, because that would bump him up a lot of levels, because he's only like level 37, I think he was. Or 38 maybe. Agility. And okay, he got 15k. So at least it's more than Granbull got. There we go, level 39. Level 40. Level 41. And the ribbon. There we go. Alright, so we have now cleansed all the Pokemon that we were close to cleansing. I have Ariados in my party here, but as you can see, you know, it's barely opened up. I did make a potential mistake a little bit. Because as I was doing the Mount Battle stuff, I was starting to think, hey, what kind of party do I want to take with me going into endgame? And of course, you know, I've talked about it many times, but I will have a slot for my Feraligatr when at some point I do get him. I think I was able to get him early game because we got the Bayleaf. And I don't know how it's determined which one of the 3 starters, so the Cyndaquil, the Bayleaf, or, well, not Cyndaquil, but the Quilava, the Bayleaf, or the Croconaw you get. Maybe I could have chosen to get the Feraligatr or the Croconaw there. But, you know, I didn't know, so I guess maybe I missed out on something over there. But then again, it is kind of fun to, you know, have something to look forward to so we can get him in the end game. So, that is all the Pokemon we've cleansed. I also quickly want to take a moment here to show you guys what I've done with our, well, Pokemon inventory, Pokemon storage. So, in box number 1, these are all the Pokemon that we have uncleansed right now. So, you know, we don't have any cleansing done for any of these. I mean, some of them maybe I've got like a little bit, like I think the Metatite, for example, I think I've got like a little bit cleansed. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, halfway cleansed. That one's quite close. So there are definitely some that I have a little bit. Let's just put it down there. Then in box number 2, these are all the Pokemon that I have cleansed. So, of course, I also have some in my party. I will be swapping some of these back into my party as well. And then box 3 is where I put the Pokemon that have been, or I have been putting the Pokemon that have been fully cleansed, but have yet to be, cleansed at the shrine thingy. So they, the heart gauge is empty, but they haven't been cleansed properly yet. So yeah, I will try and move my way through more of these as I go through Mount Battle. I think that's a really good way to get cleansing going, but also get a lot of experience. I do think, however, that the next video I might be taking us back to the Realgam Tower, because I feel like our Pokemon are a decent level. I think. So I'm going to do a bit of buildcraft here on this video. This is just a bit of a random, weird video, I think. I want to take Entei with me, level 46 Entei, so he's going to come with me for sure. I do want to keep Raycow with me as well. Piloswine I will leave here. The reason for that is that I have Suicune. And what I want to do real quick is I want to see how is his special attack. Because his special attack right now is 71. And yeah, there we go. So there's 80 special attack on Suicune and only 71 on Piloswine, and they are the same level. So that means that there's just a lot more, well, special attack on the Suicune, so we get a bit more damage going on. We also have that really cool pressure thing with the raises foes PP usage. She also has a ton more special defense, 68 to 119. She's also faster. She also has more defense. She has pretty much the same HP. So literally the only thing that Piloswine has got going for him is very, very slightly higher attack and very, very slightly higher HP. And the rest is just all worse than Suicune. So yeah, I don't see any reason when we're looking. I mean, to be fair, this is ice ground, this is water, so they're not very similar. But I want to take something that has some water damage with me, and in my mind, this guy was also water, so I don't know, but like my entire story kind of now falls flat, but still, like the point still stands. I don't think Piloswine has great stats, so I'm going to be taking my Suicune with me into the party as well. So we will be running all 3 of the Hound Pokemon. So let's put this one back for a moment. That also does mean that, unfortunately, as much as I love my Ampharos, I will be leaving my Ampharos here. And maybe I'll get Ampharos back at some point, maybe not. But I have Raycow here, and there's just not really a point in taking a second electric type with me, I do believe. I do want to keep Hitmontop with me for now, because I do want to have a bit of fighting power. I just want to have the ability to use a fighting move, use Triple Kick to deal with like Rock-type Pokemon, etc. The abilities here as well, we haven't run through them yet. So relaxes the body to sharply boost speed, that's agility. We have Focus Energy, focuses power to raise the critical hit ratio. Triple Kick kicks 1 to 3 times in a row with rising intensity. And then you have Rapid Spin, spins the body at high speed to strike the target. The power of this one is very, very low. So I don't know if I even care about this one, but Triple Kick... Actually, Triple Kick only has 10 power, what? Only 10 power on a 10 PP move. I mean, to be fair, it can hit 3 times. Oh, I see. Okay, so it can hit 3 times, but it has rising intensity, so I'm assuming it's like 10, 20, 30 or something, which would make it a total power move, like 60. Probably something like that, where the initial power of the first kick is 10, but then the next 2 kicks are stronger. But yeah, we will keep him with us as well. Let's take a quick look at the other moves that we have gotten. So Suicune has of course, learned... Well, nothing new, because we haven't unlocked Suicune. I'm just being an idiot over here. We do have Raycow, who has gotten a new move, and that is the Spark. We got it during the Mount Battle stuff as well. Actually, wait, no, we didn't, guys. I'm completely blanking on what exactly I've done on Mount Battle. So, ignore me talking complete crap right now. An Electrified Tackle that may paralyze the target. We talked about this already, so I don't have to talk about it again. Well, you can see that I haven't recorded yet today because, I mean, I've been playing a bit today, but I haven't properly recorded today with like a voiceover and stuff. So, yeah, that's, I'm definitely not as sharp as I would like to be. Okay, so now I'm thinking, what do I want to take with me? Well, I for sure want to take Espeon with me. I will have to level Espeon a little bit, but that should be fine. Ariados also can now go into a different box, so the Uncleansed box. Here we go. And then I do have one last spot available. So what are we lacking? Well, we're lacking grass damage, right? We don't have any form of grass damage. We have water damage over here. We have some ice damage over here as well. We have thunder or electric damage. We have fire damage. We have psychic damage. We have, just normal damage, but also fighting damage. We could now do two things, and I'm kind of torn. We could take something like Misdreavus or something like Umbreon, who have pretty good stats, I do believe, and have a bit of dark damage going on, and just have good overall base stats. But I could also just take my Meganium and have a bit of grass damage. Now, I don't know if we need grass damage specifically, because the reason why you would need grass damage, which would be the Razor Relief ability, is to deal with ground-type Pokemon or water-type Pokemon. But for ground-type Pokemon, I have water. For ground-type Pokemon, I have fighting. And for water-type Pokemon, I have electric as well to deal with that. So I think I don't need that. And I'm probably better off taking my Umbreon for some dark damage. And also just, I think he has pretty good base stats. And, you know, the ability to flinch and stuff is great. And I do think he learns Crunch pretty soon as well, as opposed to Bite, which is like a stronger Bite, from what I remember. So I think, based on that logic, I want to take this. I could also take something like Noctowl, you know, for some flying damage. Or maybe even take the Granbull. Granbull also knows Bite. And his typing is normal. While the typing for Umbreon, I think, is normal dark. It's dark. So I think I do want to take Umbreon just because Umbreon will have the same time attack bonus on Bite. Alright, you know, if anyone is an expert at Pokemon, you know, please do let me know if what I've just said makes any sense. You know, maybe I'm talking completely out of my ass, but that's just kind of how my logic works here. So I think I want to have a party that's kind of like this. Now, you know, I could optimize this. Maybe I could get like a better fighting type Pokemon for Hitmontop. I'll probably replace Suicune at some point by Feraligatr. There's a reason, or there's a potential that Suicune has the better stats, but at that point, it's like, whatever. I also kind of want to look at the items, because I think I have something to boost fighting type moves, right? So we could put that on Hitmontop. So if I now go to my inventory, my items, and is that the black belt? Yeah, a hold item that boosts fighting type moves. So let's give this to Hitmontop. And now, who is still missing something? So Entei, you know, I hate how you can't see what... Actually, I mean, you can see what they're holding, but you can't see what it does, right? So I can't, like, go in here and see what it does. So black glasses... What did I do again? I mean, I must have given it to him for some reason. I can't remember. Hitmontop has a fighting type move. Espion, I think, has... Yeah, Twisted Spoon, which gives more psychic damage, I believe. Then Umbreon is currently holding the Silk Scarf. Don't know what Silk Scarf does anymore, but I'll check that later. Suicune is holding what the Macho Brace. See, I don't know what all of these are, so let me deposit this item. Let me deposit this item, and then also deposit this item. So, you know, this is just a bit of a build-craft video, guys. If you don't care about this part, just skip to the next one. I probably won't be doing any more proper content during this one. It's just gonna be me talking about like my setup and stuff as we go into the next video, where we'll, you know, be probably trying to make some proper progress again. I will return to Mount Battle as well, by the way, but I don't know exactly when I'll be doing that. Alright, so let me go to my items. Why am I at Pokemon? I was taking a sip of coffee real quick. So you guys don't have a cam, so you can't see me taking a sip from my Ember mug. There we go, another sip was taken. Okay, let's see what items we have. So we also still have 3 rare candies, but I'm kind of just holding on to them because, I mean, you guys know. Let me take a quick peek. We have HP ups as well. Okay, Macho Brace. A hold item that promotes growth, but reduces speed. So yeah, I think what this does is... I think this game also... I can't remember exactly how the system works, but there's like... 2 different types of values that Pokemon have. Like, they have like their base values that boost their stats just based on the levels, but they also have... there's like TVs and IVs or something like that, and one of them is based on just pure levels, like they always get them, and the other one is based on like which Pokemon they kill or something, and then those Pokemon have a specific value that is then given to the Pokemon that got the kill or something like that. I knew a bit more about this back when I was playing a lot of Pokemon Let's Go Eevee, but it's kind of like eluded me now. But yeah, I think Macho Brace just says, hey, you're gonna get more stats, but your speed reduces. And because we're going into more difficult stuff, I think I want to keep the Macho Brace off because I want to get as much damage out and as much potential uptime as possible. The Silk Scarf says a hold item that raises the power of normal type moves. Now, that can be... Oh, wait, Black Glasses. A hold item that raises the power of dark type moves. Okay, so what I will do, potentially a bit of a mistake, but I will give it to Umbreon. Because now we have same type attack bonus, plus the Black Glasses, plus just Bite itself having the damage. Entei will lose that bonus, but I'm not really using Bite and Entei frequently anyway. I'm pretty much always using Fire type moves. Then the Silk Scarf does boost normal type moves. But I'm trying to think... Do we even have any normal type moves really on our Pokemon? Hold on. Hold on. Okay, so there's Leer, but I don't know if you care about that. There's also Leer here. There is Stomp, so I guess I could give it to him and have Stomp be a bit stronger, but... I mean, Stomp, to be fair, is a bit stronger than Bite. Doesn't cause flinching, but if I put it on there, then at least Stomp will be a bit stronger. I don't know how big the boost is. Probably like 20%, 33%, something like that, I would imagine. But I don't know for sure. So that whenever Fire Blast isn't effective, I could use Stomp instead. And then Bite would be the third option in case it's like type effective. Also, is Entei normal? No, he's just fire. Is there shared typing in this game, guys? Is there shared? I think there is shared typing because I think Piloswine is water. Sorry, he's ice. He's ice and ground, but I think it's not very frequent. Okay, so that means that we have now made up our mind. We will put the Silk Scarf onto Entei. Alright, great. Do we have anything else? A hold item that restores any lowered stat. I mean, I could put it up on them, but I probably want to keep it for like a really hard fight or something. This is one of those items you'll hold on to you for, you know, the entirety of the game, and then you'll just never end up using it. Let's see. Anything else we have that I can put on? It's just boosting stuff. No, that's just pretty much everything. So I'm thinking I could put on experience share. Like, the only problem I have right now is, you know, Reikau, Entei, Suicune all probably decently leveled. Hitmontop also properly leveled. But Espeon and Umbreon are a little bit low, so I could now go into Mount Battle again and try and grind my Espeon and my Umbreon up a little bit, and then go in. And I think that is what I'm going to do. Maybe they will actually struggle trying to even get the kills going because they are a bit under-leveled. So I think what I'll do is I'll go back into, you know, post-commentary, whatever I'm doing. I'll go back into Mount Battle. I'll do like 10 more battles. See if I can use those battles to get myself like low 40s. And then, you know, I can wrap up the video and we can go back to the Real Gam Tower next time. So, yeah, I'll probably see you guys soon. I'm sure I should be back now. And you just heard me talking about whatever. I can't remember what I talked about exactly. I think I was talking about like my party composition. And then I realized, wait a second, my Espeon and my Umbreon need to be power leveled a bit more. So they are now back. We are now just going to try and make... Well, we're going to make our way, you know, a bit of a spoiler maybe. We're going to make our way from 51 to 60. And that is going to be the end of the video. So I am slowly, you know, I've been going for 24 minutes. I've not really stopped talking for more than like a quarter of a second. But I have to admit, I am kind of running out of things to talk about right now. There's only so much you can say. So, you know, number 52 right now. 41 right now. So the Pokemon are a bit stronger than Espeon and Umbreon. Now, I have to say Espeon's special attack, I don't know on top of my head what special attack, like the actual number is. But Psybeam is such a strong move. It deals so much damage, especially because we have the Twisted Spoon active, of course, and I think I talked about that as well during the little intersection between the sped up parts. And also, there is, of course, the same type attack bonus as well, so she just hurt like a beast. I'm hoping we also unlock Psychic at some point. I'm assuming that is in the game, and I'm assuming we're going to learn that somewhere within the next like 10 levels or so, because I think... From what I remember, like Psychic, isn't it like the strongest like Psychic move in the game? You go from like Confusion to Psybeam to Psychic or something like that. I can't remember exactly how that works, but I'm looking forward to getting the next upgrade and just absolutely blasting things. Also, this Lileep is super, super tanky. I don't know what kind of special defense this Lileep has, but That is a real beast. Also, I wonder, are any are any of you people watching this right now getting dizzy watching this? Like I can handle this, but just looking at this, I could see why someone might be like, yeah, this actually gets me a little bit dizzy. I think my Espion is about to die here as well to some punch or something. Let me see what happens. Here we go. Hurt herself in confusion. Comet punch. There we go. Espion is down. But don't worry. I bring in Entei. I fire blast the guy right in the face. And life feels good. So I was thinking, maybe I can play this as well with my emulator sped up. Maybe I can like cheat this a little bit and just. There's probably a way. I haven't checked it, but you could probably put your emulator at like 2, 3, 4 times speed or something. I used to do that with my Game Boy emulator back in the day when I used to play Game Boy games on my emulator like 15 years ago, whatever. Now you could probably do that as well for Dolphin, but I just haven't really bothered to look into it. So I just kind of played this. I was often just standing up, doing like um lunges on the spot, like kind of wandering around my small room, just to try and make sure I was doing something productive. Fortunately, I do have a wireless controller, and this game doesn't require many inputs. So like I just input the moves. I stood there. I was doing like some squats, some lunges, just to keep the blood flowing in my legs and stuff. And um, yeah, just kind of playing away, putting in the moves again. So like sometimes you might see me pause or like use a random ability that doesn't really make sense. Like sometimes I use an ability, I think I do it here, that gets resisted, and I'm just like, wait, didn't it hit? Because I just wasn't paying attention to the battle itself, because I'm just kind of like playing like with my brain half AFK. But yeah, we are slowly nearing the end of this section. We have this Delcatty that we have to take out, which should be pretty easy. There we go, bite coming in through. I am swapping in my Hitmontop as well a little bit, just because I want Hitmontop to also be getting a bit of experience. There is, of course, going to be many mid-40s battles coming up in the Ryugam Tower. We do now have Entei, Suicune, and Reikau all sitting at 45-ish. I think Entei is 46. We now have Espion and Umbreon. I think we're going to get them to like 40 to 41. So they're also going to be somewhere like close to that range. So at least I'll be able to add something. Hitmontop's also 41 right now. So my Pokemon are getting into a spot right now where they are not over-leveled. They are very slightly under-leveled, but with proper management, we should be able to take them down. I'm also curious to see how we would do right now if we're going to go to the Under Colosseum, which is something that I'm thinking about maybe doing before, but I'll probably just do the Realgam Tower first, see if we can make our way through, because I do think the Realgam Tower is the final area of the game, and it would be fun to finish up the main story, and then we can get a bit into the post game, and we can start wrapping up this game and thinking about what do we want to do next. And it's probably going to be Exegil of Darkness, as I talked about just a little bit before. Do let me know if you're watching this what you think of that idea, if that's something that you think you would enjoy, because I like taking the input as much as I can. Also, this Love Disc is such a weird Pokemon, don't you think? Like, they look so weird. Some of the moves took so long to be watching. Like, I was watching some fights, and it's like, oh, the rain is falling, the rain is falling. Or when like Hitmontop was in my main party, when Hitmontop is called forth, there is this little attack reduction on both of the opposing Pokemon happening. Like you could see right there, and it takes so much time. The animation takes so much time. Of course, keep in mind you are watching this at 5 times speed, so this all took me 5 times as long. I don't remember what the actual footage is, but I think this video file turned into a little bit over half an hour. So that means that, of course, doing that times 5, that means, I had like 2.5 to 3 hours of battling here, which, I mean, it was fun. I was looking forward to doing it, but it's definitely something that I didn't want to do all in one long sitting. I was also really curious to see if I were able to just consistently keep talking for the entirety of the video and like figure out subjects that I could talk about. And apparently I have pretty much done it. We are nearing the end. I kind of wanted to put some sound in here, and I'm kind of tempted to maybe put like the Pokemon theme song in here, like some Pokemon music in here or something. But I'm scared I'm gonna get like copyright struck or whatever, and I don't want that to happen. I had the normal game sound in here, but it just became like this really really big mess of sound effects, and I don't think you would want to hear that. So I decided to leave that out. So this entire video is just gonna be only my voice. So I hope you appreciate that. And yeah, I will be wrapping up the video somewhere soon from here on out. So yeah, I'm gonna just wrap it up. Thank you very much for watching me as I work my way through all 60 of these battles. If you still made it, then I have a lot of respect for you. I will be back next video. I think the plan is going to be to try and do the real game tower. I'm a little bit undecided, but that's what I think would be the best course of action. We'll see how we do there. And yeah, enjoy this battle number 60, which is the final battle before this video ends. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Have a nice day, and I'll see you around.